let's talk about one of the toughest, most persistent threats facing our honeybee colonies today, Nosema disease. In this guide, we're going to break down exactly what it is, how you can spot the warning signs, and most importantly, how you can fight back to keep your hives healthy and absolutely thriving. So, let me ask you a question. For every beekeeper out there, is there a silent threat lurking in your hives right now? You see, Nosema often works quietly, weakening a colony from the inside out, sometimes before you even realize anything is wrong. Understanding this enemy, well, that's the first step to defeating it. So, first things first. Let's get to know the enemy, right? Let's pull back the curtain and find out what exactly this microscopic invader is and how it manages to wreak so much havoc inside a honeybee.
At its core, Nosema is a fungal disease. The easiest way to think about it is like a devastating gut infection for your bees. It specifically goes after their digestive system, which stops them from absorbing nutrients properly. And when a bee can't eat, it gets weak. And a colony full of weak bees is a colony in trouble.
And here's where it gets tricky. It's not just one thing. You've got two main types. First, there's Nosema apis. That's the older version, and it often gives you pretty obvious signs, like dysentery. But the real modern menace is Nosema ceranae. This one is way more dangerous because its symptoms are so sneaky. It just quietly shortens the lives of your worker bees. And get this, it messes with their memory. A bee that can't remember where the best flowers are, or even how to get back to the hive, that's not just a lost bee. That's a direct hit to your colony's workforce and your honey production.
The life cycle is a simple but really vicious circle. It all starts when a bee ingests these microscopic spores from contaminated food or water. Once they're inside, those spores invade the cells of the stomach lining and just start multiplying like crazy, completely destroying the bee's digestive system from the inside. Then, brand new spores get released in the bee's poop, contaminating the hive, and the whole cycle starts all over again. Okay, so we know what this disease is and how it works. The big question is, how do you spot it in your own bee yard? Well, it's time to put on your detective hat, because trust me, early detection is everything. Let's go over the clues your bees might be giving you. These are the things you can spot with your own eyes during a normal hive inspection. The most classic sign, especially for the older Nosema apis, is dysentery. You know, those yellowish-brown streaks of bee poop on the front of your hive or on the top of the frames. You might also notice bees crawling around on the ground, unable to fly, or just a general feeling that the colony is sluggish, weak, with more dead bees out front than usual. But if you want the smoking gun, the undeniable proof, you've got to look inside the bee. A healthy bee's gut is slender and has these clear, defined ridges on it. But an infected gut, it becomes swollen, turns a sickly, milky white color, and completely loses those distinct lines. If you see that, it's the clearest sign you've got a serious Nosema infection on your hands.
All right, we've done our detective work, we've identified the enemy, we know how to spot it. Now for the most important part, the battle plan. Let's walk through some really effective and accessible ways you can treat Nosema and protect your colonies.
First up is a natural remedy that a lot of beekeepers swear by, wormwood extract. It's pretty straightforward. You're going to need about 3 grams of dried wormwood for each hive. Steep it in hot water for about 6 hours, just like making a really strong tea. Then, you'll strain it out and mix that extract right into your sugar syrup. You can either drizzle this mixture between the frames or lightly spray it on the bees. The key here is repetition. You'll want to do this 4 times, about a week apart, for it to really work.
Another powerful option is thymol, which is the active compound you find in thyme. First, you've got to dissolve the crystals. Mix 20 grams of thymol into 100 milliliters of ethyl alcohol. Once that's all dissolved, you'll add just a small spoonful of that concentrate to a big batch. We're talking 11 liters of sugar syrup. Mix it up really well, and you can either feed it to them or apply it as a drizzle. Just be careful not to completely soak the bees.
And beyond those two, you've got other tools for your toolbox. Some beekeepers like to add a little bit of apple cider vinegar to their feed. Oxalic acid, when mixed in at a 3% ratio, has also shown some good results. And of course, there are always commercial products you can buy, like Nosevit, which are designed specifically to fight Nosema. But wait, before you mix up any of these treatments and start applying them to your entire apiary, just hold on. There is one final, absolutely critical step that you have to take to make sure all your bees stay safe. And I really cannot overstate this. Always test your treatment on a single colony first. Before you go all in and treat every hive in your yard, pick one, apply the treatment, and just watch. See how they react.
This is without a doubt the single most important rule when you're trying anything new.
So why is this so important? Well, because not all colonies are created equal. A bee's genetics, the overall strength of that specific colony, even your local weather can change how they react to a treatment. What works perfectly for your strongest hive might be too stressful for a weaker one. Don't ever risk your entire apiary. Test first, then you can proceed with confidence.
So we've covered what Nosema is, how to be a detective and spot it, and a whole arsenal of ways to treat it. You now have the knowledge and the tools to fight back, effectively and safely. So the real question is, what's the first step you're going to take to check on and protect your hives?